Hello, and welcome to Wellness and More of You and Chakra Balancing. My name is Kathi Gow, and it's wonderful to have you here today. We're going to be going over some material, and there's just not enough time to go over it all, but there's some really nice things that I'm going to be offering you today. So get comfortable and take some notes if you want. And I'm going to give you an indication of when the actual technique is going to be starting so you can take note of when to start this video again. So, my hope is that you'll come many times and find your own rhythm in your daily routine to find that energy balancing for your own fields. But there's a quick overview first. After explaining a little bit about this, we'll get into some breathing techniques, which is so important to relieving stress and bringing in oxygen for the brain and for your body. Then we'll begin the actual techniques. I do have a wonderful bonus for you at the end of this, so make sure you stay tuned. I am going to be going through quite a few notes, so bear with me as I do that. And I hope that you'll really get something out of this and enjoy what I'm presenting. This work of chakra balancing is for everyone, for any age, and any religious belief. I will be sharing what I call downloads that I've gotten from God in my own process of doing this work over the years. And in your own clearing, you're going to sense more clarity to receive from Him also. Through this energy work has been research from many countries. I've heard about a local nurse who has a special machine that can actually show the energy field, the outside of the energy field on your body. I have not met her yet, but I hope someday I will. I'd like to look her up. So, I will be reading from a folder from a class that I did years ago. There's such good information in this folder, and I would like to give it to you as a gift for hearing this video today. And I'm going to give you my email, and just for shipping costs, I'll give it to you for free. So in here, you'll hear some of it today, but a lot of it you're going to want to read through for yourself. Okay? So I had put up a different email on my other videos that I would prefer you using this email I'm going to give to you now. It's Kathi, Kathi, wellnessandmore@gmail.com. Okay, so take note of that. Give me an email if you would like this free folder of really good information, and that would be awesome. Okay, so I'm going to first start off, if I can find it. Here it is, sorry. With a picture of the chakras and what the chakras are. Okay, so in the center of your body, starting at the top of your head, all the way down to the pelvic floor, but I'm going to go all the way down to the feet, and I'll explain that in a minute. But the 7 that are here are within the center, and what they are is energy fields that spin. Okay, this energy field, we're going to talk about what triggers it, how it functions, and how it feeds the organs, the emotions that are involved. And it's amazing. It is Chinese medicine. They have a handle on this stuff, how everything connects together. Our emotions, our mental state, our physical, as I said in the previous videos, the physical is the last result of the other levels, right? So today we're just going to focus on how these get shut down, how they spin. They're supposed to be spinning to be open, but how they get shut down and what we can do to open them back up. Okay. The interesting thing that I found is that men, this is how I remember it. The heart chakra on a woman will go clockwise this way, and the heart chakra energy field on a man goes the opposite way. Isn't that interesting? And so what happens is when, let's just say all the energy fields are open, how does the energy flow? Okay, so the energy flows to the organs, feeds the organs, but the energy goes like a crazy 8 all the way up through each chakra and then all the way down like a crazy 8. Okay, so picture if you have 1 or 2 shut down and they're not spinning, what's going to happen is that flow of energy is going to stop. It's going to be interrupted. So I'm going to read some benefits of when they're open that you'll feel, and some things that are happening in your body that when they're closed down. Disruptions. So our goal is, while we do this exercise, is that they all be open. Okay. So we're going to go into disruptions and benefits of the energy fields. So I would like you to just bear with me as I read a little bit, okay? This is so good. And there's not one person out there that's not going to relate to some of the stuff I'm going to read, okay? So here it goes. So the movement of life energy has an expansion phase and a phase of contraction and relaxation. Energy cycles is an outward flow and an inward flow. The outward pulsation or the expansion phase, like the arterial circulation, nourishes the body-mind system. The inward pulsation of the relaxation process occurs through the force of attraction and allows to recharge ourselves before our energy pulsations expand outward once more. When this flow or pulsation is interrupted, there are specific consequences depending on the chakra and the phase involved. When the energy pulsation is interrupted so it cannot flow outward, there's always a buildup of pressure. This pressure cooker effect may manifest in a variety of actions or behaviors, all of which are characterized by an attempt to move something out or to discharge. In the blocked outward flow, people may be angry or talk excessively or need to move around in order to feel better. An excess need for running or sports and even jittery legs that cannot stop moving. Each chakra has its own consequences to a blocked outward pulsation. For an example, at the level of the water chakra, which is the second one up from the bottom, the individual may feel repressed or find themselves using others for sexual needs. At the level of the earth chakra, which is on the very bottom, the individual may find themselves using others in order to feel secure. The blocked outward flow may reflect in using addictive substances such as cocaine or alcohol, and stimulates that adrenal activity. Because the energy pulsation obstruction is not addressed, compensating actions not only fail to bring any relief, but create further complications. So you can see already when they're not in balance, some of the things that concur and happen in our bodies and how it's played out. When the energy pulsation is interrupted, so it cannot flow inward to its center or chakra to be recharged, we may find ourselves compensating for this inward moving constriction by attempting to move something inward to receive something into our center: foods, liquids, addictive substances. That makes so much sense, doesn't it? It's fascinating. So, with the inward flow interruption, we feel spaced out, exhausted, or we may find ourselves on the receiving end of others' negative talk, or find ourselves always listening while others do all the talking. At the level of the air chakra, we find ourselves being possessive or feeling aloof, disconnected. At the level of the fire chakra, I'll explain these as I go, we usually feel depleted or exhausted. When the energy pulsation cannot return to its center at the level of the chakra, we may feel like the receiving end of others' anger and abuse. At the level of the water chakra, the second one up, the individual may find that they are used by others to satisfy their own needs. Food, drugs, work, sex, to be filled up and feel whole. Finally, the level of the earth chakra, the individual may probably feel unstable and won't be able to earn enough to survive. The outward and inward pulsation may be interrupted at the level of any chakra. We eat unhealthy foods. This may interrupt the energy cycle. If we breathe polluted air, this will interrupt the expansion, relaxation cycle of the air chakra where the lungs are. Whiplash may interrupt the cycle of the ether, the water, the earth chakras. Early childhood experiences when basic life needs were not met, direct impact of the expansion relaxation cycle at the level of any or all of the chakras are happening. The disrupted energy repatterning supports identifying the non-coherent in the outward and inward pulsation. We can reestablish those natural movements of energy pulsation and once more return to that balance and harmony of coherence. So, as I said in some earlier videos, that everything I do, I will muscle check what emotions are involved. So when this is nice for you guys for self-care, because I'm going to teach you, each energy field has its specific own character and focuses on a certain thing. And in that, you'll know what I mean when I explain, and we do it, what the emotion or mindset is around it. And that's where we're going to make it a prayer. So when we do our exercises and helping you to understand that meaning, making it a prayer, doing our breathing, all three together is going to come out with the end result. And I would just ask that you would be patient with yourself in this process. I've been doing this over 10 years. And it does take time, because everything is stored. Our energy from birth, from conception, is really truly stored in our field. And I might have shown you this chart before, but our 6-foot field outside in our space here. That's why I do the tuning in the space. I do organ tuning, emotional code release, because emotions are stored, and acupressure. So when we do chakra balancing, I feel like this is the foundation of the 4 levels coming together, of something that you can do every morning and every night. The best time for me is when I wake up and when right before I go to sleep. So I'm in my bed and I'm laying hands on each energy field doing my prayers. And it's a great self-care tool. I hope that you would agree by the time we're ending here. Okay, so I want to get into the benefits. That was kind of like the disruption. And now I want to talk about some of the benefits. So, strengthening the body's defenses, harmonizing our cardiovascular system, detoxifying and improving the function of internal organs. It promotes the healing of circulation and metabolism and retention of oxygen and helps the aging process. Anxiety diminishes, mood swings become less intense, mental fatigue and depression lessens, relaxation, inner peace are experienced, sleep becomes deep and restful, and addictions are easily more managed and can be released in a greater way. Improves concentration, sharper memory, eliminates the grounds of negative thinking because you're really addressing the energy and balancing it, but you're also praying and you're thinking about what is it that, that you're feeling. Because what you're feeling is truly what you're believing. And what you're believing is how you're thinking. So one leads into the other. It's fantastic process of clearing all of that. Self-pity, mind and spirit, clarifying it, recognizing and feeling once you feel connected to yourself, you're connecting to your true authentic self and your purpose and your place in this world. And really being able to, at that point, seeing what's really important to you that God planted in you. So I hope that that's all experienced as you do these exercises. Alrighty. The next thing I want to talk about is before our breathing, and then we'll get right into the exercise, is called the opportunity. So I'm not going to read through word by word, but I just want to paraphrase it. This opportunity and a picture of the chakras and all of what I'm talking about will be in that folder if you choose to have it, and I can mail it to you. But this opportunity is fantastic because basically it is saying that in every negative thing that we experience in life, and believe me, I can really concur with some people. I've heard some really horrific stories in the last 25 years of my own healing and sharing with other people and then working with other people, that it's understandable why you would feel the way that you feel. And what I'm saying about as an adult, my first therapist taught me this. This is fantastic. Well, first she said, "Where's Kathi? Don't know, let's go find her." Yeah, she had run away a long time ago, right? So some bad situations, and we had to go find her. So that was kind of cool. I was on a journey to find myself. And the other thing is she taught me is that as an adult, we're not victims. And that takes some thinking, okay? Just take a minute, take a deep breath, and breathe out. Yeah, as adults, we have choices. We know that. Okay, as children, we didn't. And if it's stored, if those bad victimized situations are stored, the beautiful thing is that as an adult, you can now bring healing to yourself in those places when you were younger. With God's help, with His Spirit, with His touch and healing power, it is possible. So the opportunity explains all about the negative situation as adults, that we take that opportunity to exchange it out, get wisdom through help, get turning it into a positive. And it's done through release and forgiveness. And you can't give out something you don't have. So we're learning how to receive for us and really truly forgiving ourselves first, and then being able to give that out. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay, I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so staying on point here. So our energy fields are directly related to our thought process and our experiences, and it feeds our organs. Everything generationally too. So this can be very overwhelming for sure to realize that, but with all our triggers that we go through, but there is hope. Through education and through God's help, there's hope. Okay. So I have next, let me just share one more thing. Wellness and more of you, through all these experiences I just shared, was really birthed from all of that. And as I cried out to God and bring an understanding, He brought all these tools into play over a course of 25 years and to where I am now. And it is a pleasure and an honor to be sharing them with you. And I hope that you invite others to hear about the modalities. And again, just be patient with your own process. As I was reading His Word every day, I would need a word from the Lord directly. I needed that. And like when you're in a relationship with someone, you interact, right? And that's how real it was for me. He showed up. He showed up circumstantially, and He showed up in a great way. And He will for you too. And in outside and in, circumstantially and within. So that's a good thing. All right. All right. So we call this the invitation. The invitation for Him in every bad thing, or however you're feeling, even with the modalities, it boils down to the invitation. Will we allow God to come in and heal us? Will we take care of ourselves? Will we take time every day to do that? And it's a challenge. We don't realize until you really ask yourself that question. If you're not doing it, it takes a while to change the habit, right? We're habitual people. And I notice, with some of the fun apps I have on my phone now, how addicting that can be. I love to paint. I found a painting app, and it's fun. And we should do these fun things, go out and have fun things and do fun things. But I think we have to be really, really super careful of the technology addiction because it can rob. It robs our time. I see it happening. And so just be aware of that. Take that time for you, if you can, to do some of these modalities and exercises. So again, the invitation is for the exchange. doing the exchange, identifying, releasing it off of our body, doing the exchange, a prayer exchange. All right, so at this point, take note, I am at 25 minutes. Yeah, let's say 25 minutes and in, and we can start doing the exercise. So first, I'm going to position myself a little bit better for you. I'm going to go back a little bit. So originally, when I did this class 10 years ago, I focused on the center chakras. There was 7. So there's 5, 6, 7. And now, since I've done my tuning, we talk about the knees and the feet energy. So I'm going to incorporate that also when I do the chakra work. But first, I'm going to give you a breathing technique. In your folder that you'll get is like pages, front and back, pages and pages of breathing techniques. All different ways you can breathe. Had no idea, had no clue. You can breathe from your feet. Yeah, it's crazy, but it's really cool. I want to give you my testimony. When I started and I learned about acupressure, and I started about my lung and worked on my lung, in the lung is the emotions of grief and sadness and sorrow. And I had that. I had a lot of that. And so when I started working on myself, it took months. Yeah, like 3 months before I could actually deep breathe. Now, if I don't do my deep breathing exercises with my lung, I can feel that constriction start happening in my back. And that's going to be the last thing that I'm going to show you on this video. So outside of manual and physical things that we do every day, a lot of people hold their stress on their shoulders, right? So if you're one of those people, this is what I do. This is so great. So you could do it this way, but first just take your hands on top of your shoulders, put your fingers nice and tight, and I want you to press down and hold. And this is a great way to release that stress on your shoulders, okay? And just stretch it, stretch it, stretch it, and then out. Okay, so I'm going to show you the lung meridian. It starts right here. There's a dip right there. And it goes down the edge of your arm to your wrist, to your thumb. Okay, so cross your arms, middle finger right there at the dip. And as we breathe in our nose and out our mouth, we're going to lift up our arms on the inhale, release the arms down on the exhale. What it does is it opens up the lungs even more. So when you think about sadness or grief and you breathe in, we're going to hold it. And I want you to consciously think about grabbing those emotions before you exhale. Okay? So here we go. Breathe in as deep as you can. A little bit more, and then hold. Grab those emotions. And when you release out those emotions, release it out as far and as long as you can. Okay? I would do that 3 to 5 times. Okay, and as you do it and let go, then just trace that meridian all the way out. Just trace it all the way out. Yeah. That's my favorite breathing technique with acupressure. Okay. So you're going to get those pages of breathing in with your folder. And let's start doing our exercise with our heart center. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a story before I start the heart center. Really good book, Handbook of Chakra Healing. Love this book. The author's right there. Love this book. It explains everything about each chakra. Okay. So this is my little story. I am in Arizona and I'm with my friend there and we're doing our chakra balancing. And so I have my right hand over left and it's the heart center. Okay, so all the energy fields are in the center. So I'm just staying there and I'm doing my prayer of my heart and exchanging out my emotions in my heart to the Lord. And he came and he spoke to me and he said, "Am I your center?" And I said, "Yes, you are my center." "And am I in you?" And I said, "Yes, you're in me, like thank you, you know?" And he said, "If I am in you, I am going to heal your past and I'm going to illuminate your mind." That was the most powerful word ever that I got from the Lord. I give it to you. It's powerful. He created us. He knows how these energies work. He knows how our body works. He knows how everything works. Go to the source, right? He's our source. And so that was just so phenomenal because I'm going to share with you, there's 3 chakras below, and we're not talking about knees and feet right now, but 3 below and 3 above. The below, sorry, I'm going to stop for a moment. The ones below signify the past from conception all the way up. And then up here is about the mind, how we think, and he's going to illuminate. And sometimes we are controlled by this, right? Instead of this, we're controlled by this. We need the balance of the two. Either some people are off balance, with either one of them when you think about it. But when he says, "I'm going to illuminate your mind," so that we're not leaning on our own understanding all the time and going astray and we have no clue where we're going. All right. So, heart center. Let me just share with you a couple of things about the heart center. It refers to touch, and the color involved is green. So each chakra has its own color. I just love that because I'm an artist. I do hair, I paint. I love color, and it's green. And when you think about how God created the sky, which is blue, and the earth is green, and look how nice blue and green go together, right? I love that. I love blue and green together. So love, compassion, humanity, empathy, tolerance, openness, warm-heartedness. These are all the characteristics of a nice, healthy heart. And it's open. The chakra is open. It's spinning, right? And let's see, what else? Connection with God and soul. And direct connection with yourself and your spirit and with others. It's a beautiful thing. Okay. So what I do typically from the heart center, and the prayer is, I don't even have to explain it. You know, the things, the issues of the heart, you make it your prayer. Do your prayer of exchange. Typically, I go to the root, which is at the bottom of the pelvic floor, but we're going to go to our feet. Okay, so the three steps of chakra opening, balancing, is your hands on each chakra separately first. The second part is going to be two together. So for right now, it's just each one individually. The thing about how long you stay there, and this is important. Okay, so if your chakra energy field is shut down and not spinning, and it's been that way for a very long time, it's going to take a while to open. What you might need is somebody who is healthy, okay, not giving off any bad energy, who loves you unconditionally, to come over and put their hands. They don't even have to touch your hand. They can be directly over your hand. They can touch it if you want them to, but how you feel about it is important, okay? So have them hold their hand, because the energy from their hand over your hand is going to help to open that up. And I had to do that for my first client. I worked with her for about a year, and she never was able to sleep all night. And after a year of working with her, she was able to sleep all night. It was just wonderful work to see that. So have them just hold their hand over yours, over that particular chakra. How do you know if you need that? Well, what happens when the energy field is opening, your hand will start getting really warm, and then hot, and then irritated to be there. That is a great sign that your energy field is opening. So at that point, when your body starts pushing away your hand, your energy field is open. Now, some people will come back to me and say, Kathi, that doesn't happen. I said, that's okay. Keep on doing it, because you're one step closer to having it opened. It might take a while. If you're local, come and see me. We'll do a session with Chakra Balancing opening, and I'll help you to do that. Otherwise, if you're out of town, then have somebody close to you just have their hand over your hand until you start feeling that warmth, and then it'll start feeling irritated and pushing away. I hope that helps. Okay, so let's go to the feet. Now the feet, I'm going to read to you, signifies where we're headed and how we feel about it. Sometimes people are stuck, with moving forward. There's a lot of chakras involved with that one, but feet and knees and root chakra mainly is why we can't move forward. We can't move away from stressors. You wonder why you go around the same old tree over and over and over again. And you hate living that way, but you don't know how to break free from it. So the feet chakra and the knee chakra, challenges with letting go, moving forward, confusion, obstacles in the way. So what I would do is just get in a comfortable spot where you can have your feet together, and just hold your feet. Like right now, I'm just holding my feet together. And both hands on each foot, holding them together, and do some deep breathing. And saying the prayer, "Oh Lord, I release to you every block, every hindrance that I'm hanging on to right now, and I hand it to you. Every obstacle that wants to be in my way, I'm pushing it out of my way right now. Be it fear, whatever it is. Listen to your system, your computer system. Your system has got everything stored in it. Listen, and God's going to help direct you on how to release and what to release in that quiet time. With your intention, it will happen. I guarantee it. It will happen. Okay, so now we're going to go to our knees and the obstacles that are in the way there. Not being able to let go. Hold your knees, hands on your knees, and do the prayer of letting go. Awesome. Do your deep breathing. Excuse me. Do your deep breathing. And feel your body from head to toe start to relax. And stay there as long as you need. Even if in the beginning you put aside 15 minutes, fantastic. Do the best you can with the time that you give yourself. And as you experience this, you're gonna be excited about coming back to do it again and maybe do a half an hour. So you'll find that it will get easier. Okay, root chakra, right at the pelvic floor. Okay, so right hand over left on the pelvic floor, root chakra. Let me go and read to you the root chakra. Okay, stability, the will to live, self-preservation, a sense of trust, groundedness, and security. Like babies who have had a rough birth from start, who maybe didn't get held as they should, they weren't grounded. They didn't connect well, and they always are struggling the rest of their life because of it. But good news, we can start today, to reground, to apply self-love with God's help to this area of being stable and grounded. Okay. The color is red, and the sense that's involved is smell. Okay, so you breathe in, you breathe out, you hold that center and do your prayer of grounding in Him. Go out and walk barefoot. Get grounded to the earth frequency. I do frequency jewelry. We do have plugins now for your wall for grounding for your whole area of your house against the bad EMFs. So there's a lot to be said about grounding. All right, on to the sacral. So right below the belly button. Okay, I've got my hand. And this involves sexuality, sensuality, fertility, creativity, life energy, where all the fun and creativity comes in life. The color is orange and the sense is connected with taste. Okay, so that's called the sacral energy field. The one up above it is the solar plex. The solar plex is about self identity, the courage to feel secure within yourself. If it's off balance, we tend to control or withdraw. So balance is none of those. And the color is yellow. So this might take some time for people. If you've been through an awful lot, you have a low self-esteem, really take your time with the solar plex. This is super important. um, the stomach, the spleen, all the organs that are around these center energy fields, are affected. So the liver's right here, the gallbladder, spleen, stomach. So breathe in and out. And as you do the prayer of exchange, you always want to empty out the negative first, receive in all of the good that you need. Truly, take time for that. Okay, we did the heart center. The next one is the throat. This is a sense for hearing. And the color, I believe, is sky blue. Okay, so throat chakra is super, super important. It has to do with having your voice, having a say, that it matters, that you have a place in the